Well, tonight in the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, the black vote is still being paid attention to by all media outlets because they act like we're the most important voter in America. They don't track nobody else's vote. They don't look at if we desire something, don't desire something like everybody else. Oh, no. Only the black vote is something they're paying attention to. But any other time in the country, they never pay attention to anything that we need, anything we say. So let's look into this. Now, this came out of the Washington Post. As you can see, fewer black Americans plan to vote in 2024. So it looked like the couch is winning the election more than anyone else with black America. Now, they were saying in the article that black Americans' desire to vote in this year's election is down sharply compared to 4 years ago. They say a Washington Post Ipsos poll conducted, they said last month, they said a potentially troublesome sign for President Biden, whose ascent was powered by black voters in 2020, yet we got nothing out of it as a collective of people, because I didn't vote for him. It said who has intensified efforts to court them before November's election. Say the poll of more than 1,300 black adults found that 62% of black Americans say they're absolutely certain to vote, down from 74% in June 2020. It said a 12 percentage point drop outpaced a 4-point drop among Americans overall. They from 72% to 68%. The drop in turnout interest is sharpest among younger black people who have always been less enthusiastic about Biden and have now shifted to majority disapproval of his job performance. Overall, nearly 1 in 5 black voters who turned out for Biden in 2020 less than certain about whether they will vote at all this year. The softening support includes voters, it said, like a Michaela Crumble, who she said she held her nose and voted for Biden in 2020 and still cringes when she remembers Biden saying in the midst of the 2020 campaign that if an African-American voter was having trouble deciding between him and Donald Trump, then you ain't black. Oh, yeah, hold on, we got to play that.
You have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump and you ain't black.
Yeah, I want to remind y'all he actually said that. And yet black folks still came out and voted for him. Does that make us look bad? Does that make him look bad? I think it makes us look bad a lot more than it makes him look bad, right? Now, 4 years after voting for Biden, it said to stop Trump, the 26-year-old student from St. Louis had left Biden's camp altogether. It said, I think it's maybe because it said the way the economy is going, it said how inflation is going, and then the whole situation in Palestine and how he's responded to it. It just made me less impressed with him. Said Crumble, who said that she's likely to vote for a third-party candidate in November. So the likelihood of me voting for him again is pretty low. It said in follow-up interviews, it said poll respondents stressed a number of issues that weaken their interest in voting and supporting Biden. It said Biden has not delivered on the criminal justice, police, and voting rights reforms that he campaigned on. Several mentioned the conflict in the Middle East, either as a moral disaster or as a conflict that has soaked up U.S. money while minority and poor communities at home struggle for resources. Many said that they, and saying the people they care about, have been affected by ballooning costs of groceries, gas, and other goods. In other words, as they say, kitchen table items. Everybody, listen, there's a statement that says it's the economy, stupid. It's the truth. Over anything else, it's the economy. If you can't feed your family, or you're feeding your family but your pockets are drained afterwards, if you're having trouble paying your rent or mortgage, paying your car note, paying anything, right? That makes people look at you real funny style, real quick. And Biden has proven that he has not managed the economy. He's managed everybody else's problems all over the world, but he's not managed the American people's problems. So why should he get another chance to mess up even more? Like you get that, like I said before, you get that man another 4 years. Oh, watch. This country will be third world. They say now Biden, they said Biden, he said he hasn't made things better. They said, like I would like to point out, said one voter, they said who identifies as a Democrat and has never been a Trump supporter, said economy and inflation, that's still a big problem. A 35-year-old retail worker in Highland Park said rising prices affecting me a lot, along with everybody else, more spending and less saving. And said asked what would motivate him to vote. It said the voters said, I just want to have the confidence that they're going to improve things. The dropping enthusiasm is notable among black women who have been the backbone of the Democrat Party. They say the poll finds 41% of black people ages 18 to 39 are certain to vote this year, down from 61%, they say in June 2020. They say among black women in that age group, certainly dropped from 69% in 2020 to 39%. Wow. Man, the young black women, shout out to them. Shout out to the young black women, the millennials and Gen Zs, basically. Shout out to them because I like to hear that. Don't be giving them your vote, sisters. I mean, they prioritizing every other woman but you. Now, they say the poll is they find 74% of black registered voters say they would definitely or probably vote for Biden. Just 14% of black voters say they would definitely or probably support Trump, and say that is smaller than Trump's black support in some recent national and state polls. Though it still mark a slight improvement from his performance in 2020. Say some 20% say they will probably and say they'll definitely vote for Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And say 14% say the same for professor and activist Cornel West, and 9% say they will vote. They say at least probably for the Green Party candidate Jill Stein, although 1% say they will definitely vote for any third party candidate. Let me tell you something. If you want to vote a third party candidate, by all means, because let me tell you something. You vote third party, Biden doesn't win. So if a big chunk of black people say, you know what, I'm just going to vote third party, no problem. Biden doesn't get in the White House. So please vote third party. Anything, listen, this is what I told y'all. You want to vote third party. You want to vote Trump. But just not Democrat. Forget that. Because them people don't care nothing about black people. Now, they say rather than asking a traditionally forced choice vote question, say the survey asked respondents to rate the likelihood of voting for each candidate, and respondents could say they would probably vote for more than one candidate. So among black registered voters under the age of 40, 6% say they were more likely to vote for Biden, 20% for Trump, 21% for Kennedy. Biden support rises to 78% among black voters ages 40 to 64. And to 88% is among those 65 and older. It's about 1 in 3 black registered voters are younger than 40. And are about 1/3 of poll respondents. More. Black Biden supporters than black Trump supporters say they are certain they will vote this year. 78% of those they will probably or definitely vote for Biden say they're certain they will vote. Now, Erica Young, 53, of Atlanta, it certainly should be disappointed at some point if Biden wins the second term. Inflation is taking a bigger bite out of her monthly disability check, and she feels gun violence is out of control in her community. She's also worried that the president is too focused on conflicts in Ukraine and Israel and not on the poor and disadvantaged at home. But she's unenthusiastically voting for Biden anyway because she's terrified about what will happen if Trump wins the White House again. See, this is why black people stay losing sometimes. Biden's a piece of crap. And yet you still going to go vote for him anyway. Go, Trump wins. You don't have to vote for Trump either. Vote for the couch. I'd rather you vote for the couch than vote. Biden's bad, but you're going to go vote for him anyway. You're complaining that he's prioritizing Ukraine and Israel over the American people. You're complaining about inflation. You're complaining about everything. But yeah, well, I'm going to go put him back in office because Trump, what are you talking about? Because when Trump was in office, I kept more money in my pocket during the Trump administration. I don't know what she's talking about. See, that's what I'm talking about. Some black people are just getting their own way. They're getting their own way. You complain on Biden, but gonna go put him right back in office. That's just silly to me. This same person said, I'd rather choose the lesser of two evils. Really, the lesser of two evils is Trump. That's the lesser of two evils right now, Trump. They said Biden has his faults. They said there are a lot of questionable things, but there's a choice between the two of them. I'd rather have it be Biden. Trump is a show. He's a clown. He's not a real politician. Okay, you got a real politician in office right now, and you're complaining about the food. You're complaining about the gas. You're complaining about the disability check. You're complaining that the real politician that you voted for, right, the real one, prioritizing everybody else but you. But Trump is a show. Trump is a clown. And Biden's not. That alone just ran me hot. I mean, it's like that's like I know I'm taking poison. I know I'm being poisoned with this food, But I'm going to continue to eat it because I fear what the other person is doing. So I'm being poisoned by food, but yet I'm not going to look at what the other guy is doing. The other guy is not even trying to poison me, but I don't know that because they did just what they said. This person must be an MSNBC, CNN viewer. They gotta be. They gotta be. That you know, like, y'all, that is so annoying, and you wonder why we struggle. Not all part of the struggle is put on racism. A lot of struggle we have is because of Black Americans. We continue to vote for the same people that screw us over. We continue to vote for the same party. We don't even say, you know, we're going to become politically independent and hold our vote. We don't do that. We just go, oh my God, I got to vote Democrat because I'm afraid what Trump going to do. Like, what the hell you got to lose at this point? What you got to lose? But hey, that's their prerogative. They can do what they want. I ain't voting for Biden. I'm telling y'all that right now. It ain't happening. Now, I will say this. Even though you got some people still stuck on that, and I told y'all, the majority of Black America is still stuck on Biden in a lot of ways. We understand that in this 2024 election, it's not going to be 80% of Black people not vote for Biden. That's not going to happen. But what we're working on is just the slow chip. It's the chip away of it, right? Okay, 2024. A lot of people, you know, more people say they're not going to fool with them. Then the Democrats come up again, and then you keep working at it. So by the time you get to the third or fourth election cycle, you done made a dent. You understand? This was never going to be a sprint. I know that. I know my people. But you have to understand you in this for a marathon. So, of course, we understand that not everything these people say is the gospel, but there's still some truth to it with some of our people. So more and more of our people is waking up every day. They're waking up to see the truth. I don't like when people say, why are you talking about the Democrats? I don't have to lie on them. That's the thing. Nobody has said, Phil, you're lying on them. Because I'm repeating everything they say. I'm showing you what they're doing. Everybody see what they're doing. So nobody can say I'm lying on the Democrats. I'm telling the truth. A lot of you just mad because you want to vote Democrat, but you know in your heart you can't justify it. You know in your heart you can't justify that. You know in your heart you struggling bad out here under Biden. You know that. But your pride, your silly pride, won't let you concede and understand that, hey, this is not it. This is not it. But ladies and gentlemen, like I said, you keep pressing on. Those of you who are undecided, you know, like I said, you definitely have a right to be undecided. If you say I'm choosing a couch, cool. You want to do third party, cool. You want to do Trump, cool. But that's my issue with this election. I just don't want that man back in. That man is horrible for this country. Horrible. You want World War III and you want to see your kids drafted to go fight a war that has nothing to do with Black America, put him back in office.